This is Andi for ID Boxing. I'm joined by former world champion Darren Barker here in Liverpool. Darren, always a pleasure. How's life treating you?
Yeah, very well, thanks. Good to be back up Liverpool. Seems a while since we were last there.
What was the last matchroom show in Liverpool? That's what I should have thought about.
Was it Katie Taylor? I think Katie Taylor might have fought here. I think that was the last one, and before that was obviously Smith Fowler. But it's been a while, so yeah, good to come back to Liverpool. Shame about the weather though.
It certainly is, and I feel sorry for Diego Pacheco travelling over from sunnier climates.
On his birthday as well.
But here we are, and it's not the main event we was expecting. Obviously, Smith's Stepien was meant to be, and then Callum had to pull out through injury. And now Diego Pacheco headlines against Jack-Cullen. I just want to get your thoughts on seeing that fall through, now Diego and Jack stepping up.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a shame Callum's fight fell through, but it seems like some good opportunities might come his way with Beterbiev, etc. So I wish Callum a speedy recovery and good luck in the future. But for the rest of the guys and girls on the card, the show goes on, and I'm so happy for them because everyone works so hard, and people forget that it's not just the main event. There's a whole supporting cast, if you like, and they want to. They're all at different stages of their career, and it's so important that they keep momentum going. Whether you're a novice pro or you're an experienced fighter on the cuffs of big things, they want to keep bubbling over. And you've got to remember, this is their job, so they get paid for it, as do I. So I'm happy, but I'm happy the show goes on. And we've seen Matchroom; they don't tend to cancel the whole show, do they? They seem to keep the show alive, which is good for us fans, because I think this card's good. Look, the casual, I hate using that word, but the casual will turn their nose up at it and say, oh, it's rubbish, but they're not boxing fans. Let's get it right. There's some good fights on here. I think Pacheco-Cullen's a good fight. He's looked frighteningly good. Very deceiving in his demeanour and his personality, but when he gets in the ring, he's a special fighter. Calculated, accurate, sharp. So spiteful with that backhand uppercut over the top. He takes the range away from his fighters on the front foot and the back foot. Very, very good fighter. But Jack-Cullen, he's a proven warrior. I'm so glad that he's got this opportunity, though it's a very tough one, and he's a big underdog going into this fight. He deserves these big fights where he'll obviously be getting paid well, because he's proof that a defeat on your record isn't everything, and I think we're moving away slightly from that Mayweather, protecting the O sort of record, if you like. Jack's suffered the good, the bad, the ugly. He's had some good wins. He's lost. He's had that draw with Zach Chile, and he's getting his opportunities. I thought he was doing really good against Tszyu, got stopped. Zach Chile's a very good fighter. I mean, he fell short against Felix Cash, Yildirim. He deserves this shot. And I spoke to him yesterday. He come on the show, and he's like, you can tell when someone's lying through their teeth, and they don't mean what they're saying. But Jack straight away said, I'm going to win this fight. I'm going to give it everything. I've got the experience. I'm in the prime of my career, and this is my opportunity. And I don't think he's lying to himself. I think he truly believes that. It's a tough ask, but I wish him well.
I should have checked it beforehand, but yesterday when I spoke to Jack, he said he's 9-1 with the bookies to win.
I think he said that to us. Yeah, I think.
How much of a surprise for all then? Is it that it's that wide in your eyes?
Look, I think I totally understand why it is 9-1, if I'm honest, because of how good Pacheco's looked, and Jack-Cullen has been beaten. So though he's a tough fighter and he can whack, I think he punches hard, and his record suggests he likes to get stuck in. He likes to bite down on the gum shield and rough it out when he has to. So he'll always pose threats, but yeah, I agree with him being a big underdog there.
Robbie Davies Jr. versus Darren Foley again. We was due to see RDJ versus Liam Paro. Unfortunately, Liam pulling out for injury. Just get your thoughts now on that scenario and Foley pulling in.
Yeah, look, it's these are the potential banana skins that you hear about all the time. A stand-in opponent, 3 weeks' notice or whatever it is. He's a character, Foley. Talking to him yesterday, he's a good crack. And this is his moment, his huge opportunity to completely turn his career around. I'm not sure if it was Tyrone McKenna the last time he lost, but he lost 4 fights ago. Foley, and since then he's had 4 wins on the bounce, and he's picked up 4 minor titles, you know, intercontinental titles, etc., Pan Asian titles, but they're titles, so confidence is through the roof. He's going to give it absolutely everything, but I think though he looks fit, Foley, and I'm sure he was in camp, I think one of the strong points about Robbie Davies Jr. is his engine. We've seen it last time against Molina. He's busy until the end. And I think if he sets the pace early, it could be tough for Foley, who's obviously travelled over from Oz, got the short notice, as we've heard about. But he's going to give everything. I think he naturally likes to be on the front foot. So I think with what's on the line for the winner, they're not far off something big. With Robbie Davies fighting in front of his home fans, I think that one could be fight of the night.
As always, Darren, just away from the card, there's a few other topics to get your thoughts on. I don't know whether you'll stay up to watch it, but in the middle of the night, will it be Sunday? I'm not sure how it's going to work out, but Tszyu, Tony Harrison this weekend. Just your thoughts on that?
Big fan of Tszyu. Hot division. I don't know if I will stay up, if I'm honest. I'm shattered by the end of the night. But I'm not too sure about that. But yeah, I think, you talk about pot of gold for the winner. There's endless opportunities. So I'll definitely be watching that the next day once I'm refreshed.
Just away from that one again, I want to get your thoughts on the Fury-Usyk fight. At the minute, it seems like it just won't be happening. I saw Alex Krashik say that Team Fury turned down a 60-40 split in favour of the winner. I just want to get your thoughts on that as a former fighter, somebody who would have had numerous negotiations throughout your career. What are your thoughts on that and where things stand?
It's clear this is all about ego here. It's nothing else. They've got all the money in the world, the two of them. This isn't about money, it's about ego. It's about who's the A side, who's the B side, this and that. It's so frustrating. I do get bored of these sort of negotiations stalling and falling short. Just when I get it if you're sort of fringe level and it's your big payday, it's your big moment. I get it, but they've got so much money. Does it matter? Just get in there and fight each other because we all want to see it. We all want to see who the #1 heavyweight is in the world. I really, really pray the fight happens. I really do, because I will certainly be one of the first to buy that fight and watch it. I'm desperate for it to go ahead.
In the background, there's been, Tyson said and his team said he wants to fight April 29th no matter what. So that's less than 2 months away now, and it does seem more and increasingly more likely we won't see the Usyk fight knowing that.
Yeah, look, you only have to go on Twitter and you can see a lot of people starting to get frustrated with certain individuals, and it's boring. Do you know what I mean? It's boring. You just want to see the fight. So I thought, what are we stalling on? What's the issue? What is the issue? It can only be power and ego. Like, just put all that aside and entertain the fans. Give us what we want to see. Nobody's losing in this scenario, are they? What you're going to get by agreeing to someone else's terms? What you're going to get a couple of mil short of the 20 mil you're probably already getting? Like, I don't know. This is frustration coming from a boxing fan. Forget my profession and what I do. Within boxing, this is me talking as a boxing fan. I just want to see the fight happen. Sign the contract. Do you know what I mean? Stop being greedy. Stop with the ego. Just make this fight happen.
I just want to stick with the heavyweight division and get your thoughts on Anthony Joshua. Now, usually there's a huge clamour for tickets when it comes to AJ. And I've seen a lot of people kind of post over social media recently. There's been thousands still available. Do you believe that star power of AJ's faded somewhat recently?
Yeah, maybe a little. But I don't think he's far off getting back up there. Only needs a win or two. If he was to destroy Franklin in superb, brutal fashion, I think that all ignites again, because at the end of the day, he's not riding solo, AJ. It's not like he's the only heavyweight out there. There's other guys above him and beyond him, and there's some mega fights to be made if AJ can rebuild and get back to the level where he was at. I feel sort of getting a bit tactical. I think we need to see a bit of the old AJ. Get in there, get stuck in, and you know, he punches so hard. He just needs that confidence back, I think, to be able to do that. But yeah, look, I can understand some people going off the boil with AJ, but I think give him time to, you know, work with the new coach and find that confidence. And I think personally, Franklin is a good fight for AJ. I think it's a more than winnable fight for him. It's a fight where he can look good, but there's also danger in that fight, if I'm honest. I thought Franklin showed against Dillian Whyte that he's got quick hands. You know, he's tough, he's rugged, he can get stuck in when he wants. So he'll have to be switched on, AJ. But I expect him to come through and look good. And then we can talk about, you know, the big fights with AJ.
What do you think he will show from his team up with Derrick James?
Well, look, I think there'll be technical and tactical tweaks, but I don't think it's rocket science with AJ. It's not about being reckless. It's about having that fire, that aggression, that real spite that we've seen before from AJ. I think that's all that's been missing slightly. We see it a little bit more in the second Usyk fight, but not enough. I just think there's more to come from AJ in that department, and I think it's about the new guys extracting that, and they'll be important in the corner as well. You know, to get that extra % out of AJ, and if he can find it, which I'm sure he can, because you know deep down he's a fighter. You know, he's born to fight. I don't think it'll be long before we see the second coming of AJ, if you like.
Darren, Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia confirmed for April 22nd. We had the first press conference yesterday. I was going to get your breakdown for me, please. Which way do you sway?
I go Tank, if I'm honest. He's a lot smaller in height, and I think that does favour Garcia slightly. I think he could walk Tank onto an uppercut. That's the shot you're looking for when you're fighting the shorter man. He's very good with his feet, stepping back and slinging in those uppercuts. You could see both men down. Wouldn't be a bad bet. But I just feel Tank's just nasty. He's nasty, and I think he may want it more than Garcia. I just feel if it gets tough in there, when it gets tough in there, I think that's when we'll see Tank coming through and getting the better of the exchanges. But I think for the first 6, it will be like that. There's not going to be much in it. It's going to be very close, and I think there'll be numerous knockdowns potentially for both. Like it's a fight I'm buzzing for. You know, next to that, you're talking, you know, Spence Crawford. You're talking AJ Fury. You're talking Fury-Usyk. It's up there with one of the fights we've all wanted to see. And again, the boxing fans coming out at me, and I'm buzzing for it.
And final one, Darren, did a wet dream ever cause you to fall short in a fight?
No, I used to just knock one out anyway, so it didn't matter. Look, we're having a conversation about this YouTube fight and this influencer fighting, and it really doesn't bother me. It don't bother me. Look, I understand there's a difference between the two, actual boxing and this boxing. Good luck to them. And I don't have the right to give Jake Paul shit because I wish I was a pound behind him. Do you know what I mean? The amount of money he's got from doing what he does, saying what he says. Do you know what? I hadn't seen nothing of Jake Paul. All I'd seen in the build-up was his stoppages. I was impressed with him in the sense, not as a boxer. He's novice as they come, and Cole Froch, talking about Cole Froch would eat him alive. It would be a brutal beatdown for 45 seconds. But he showed toughness. You know, he doesn't have to do this. He's got fortunes, and he was in there, and he was getting stuck in, and I was impressed in that sense. But look, let's understand that they're both novices. So look, it was incredible in the sense how much money they made, how much publicity it generated. But yeah, I don't think Jake Paul goes anywhere in boxing.
All right, Darren, we've taken enough of your time. I'm sure you're going to have to get ready for your show, so thank you.
Top man. Cheers,